Hello everyone. So I've been wanting to do this review for a while. This is a comparison between a $100 mixer and a $400 mixer. On my right is the KitchenAid Professional 5 Plus mixer, and this is the Hamilton Beach 6-speed mixer with all the attachments. Before we get into the comparisons, first we're going to go over the features of each mixer individually. So first up we have the Hamilton Beach. It has 6 speeds. Over on the side it has a little diagram on which which attachment to use, but also what to use it for. So on the bottom, like if it's like a 1 or 2 speed, you need to use it for bread. If it's 1 to 6 speed, you can use it for pastries and cookies. That is a really nice feature I do like about this, especially if you're starting off cooking. Now, it also came with 3 different paddles. That should come standard with any mixer. Locking feature at the bottom. It kind of just like slides in and twists, so it doesn't really... It's not the most secure of all locks, but it also goes against the grain of the way that this would move, so it would further reinforce the locking. Main critique I would have about this is it tends to be a little bit more prone to rusting right there. So, but I'm going to blame that on me a little bit. When I was washing these, I probably didn't have them dried off completely, so I probably had a little more water around them because they weren't completely dry. Overall, still a very solid mixer. This is the KitchenAid Professional 5 Plus mixer. As a whole, I like how it doesn't have the button thing on the side, whereas this is just a rotator, so it goes up and down. It gives you more control over the actual bowl. This is something that I've only seen in professional mixers. So there's the notch where it locks into place there, but also on the back there is a little knob that fits into the bowl right here. That's to make sure that your bowl does not move at all. As for the speeds, this has a 10 speed, so you have a lot more control over the individual mixing speed and the power that you put into the motor. It doesn't have the little chart thing, so you have to kind of do it off of your own intuition, which if you're a more avid baker or cook, chef, home chef, whatever, you're more likely to be aware of how much power you'll actually need. But the one thing that KitchenAid does probably best above all else is this right here. This is an individual motor that connects to attachments that KitchenAid sells separately, so you can do pretty much whatever you want. And I'll elaborate more on that in a second. From a professional quality standpoint, this would probably be the better option. The KitchenAid also came with the whisk, dough hook, and paddle attachment. Now, I will say the quality and durability of the KitchenAid attachments are leaps and bounds better than the Hamilton Beach. While these are still kind of, I would err on the way of saying, cheaply made, they still get the job done, they still do great. That's not me dissing on them. But this is plastic and this is steel. In addition to this, the KitchenAid itself is very, very heavy, so you don't really need to have anything to secure it in place because nothing else is really moving. The Hamilton Beach is very, very light. The motor itself is the heaviest part. Like if you can just pick it up by the top. So in order to counteract this, they put suction cups on the bottom. This is not going anywhere. This is very, very heavy. Motor-wise, the KitchenAid is so much more powerful. I forget the exact watts. I think it says, okay, max of 525 watts. This I do not remember, but for comparison, I have burned out the motor twice using all-purpose flour, half batch for my bread recipe. I didn't replace it, it kicked back on, but it stopped the mixer and it wouldn't mix. The KitchenAid was able to take an entire recipe of white bread with bread flour, which has a higher gluten content, which makes the dough denser. This is an unreal beast. Also, I wanted to address this real quick. The actual locking mechanism for the Hamilton Beach, you just slide the paddles in, and whenever it rests like that, it doesn't really work as well. As for the KitchenAid, I kind of like the whole philosophy of simple tech is the best tech. It just slides in, twists to the side, and it's good to go. It's a very simple locking mechanism, but it's extremely effective, and it's what I actually used whenever I was in culinary. The final feature thing I want to talk about that gives KitchenAid a massive edge over the Hamilton Beach is this right here. The motor actually doesn't only go to this, it also powers this attachment, and KitchenAid sells individual attachments that have different uses. For instance, they have a pasta press, they have a flour sifter, I have a grater, and I have a juicer. There are a ton of things that you can do with this that you can't do with Hamilton Beach. That is it for the features. Now onto the verdict. When it comes to the recommendation I would give per mixer, it depends on what you're going to be actually using it for. You have to be realistic with yourself. If you're doing this just on a trend, or you're doing this because all your friends have one, a $400 mixer is a massive commitment, but if you're an avid baker or home chef, you're going to use it. Plus the attachments are very, very handy and kind of broaden your horizons to make more stuff from scratch. That being said, if you don't have a lot of time, or you just make the occasional batch of cookies or cakes or whatever, I would recommend the Hamilton Beach. As long as you take care of it, the Hamilton Beach should be just fine. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Also, if you have any questions about either of these mixers, make sure to drop them in the comments below. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel. Also, in the description, I'm going to put links where you can find both of these mixers should you want one or whatever. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll learn something new in the next video.